So what happened was in 2018, I lost hearing in my left ear, and I didn't know what that was about, and went to the doctor and wondered if it was an ear infection and went on steroids. And in about 3 months' time, it didn't resolve, and then I started getting vertigo spells really bad. And in the midst of that, I was having these big sleep episodes where I would sleep 18 to 20 hours a day.
Wow.
Was trying to balance work. I would just come into work and be not able to walk, and would have, be walking down a hallway and just have to lean up against a wall. Like, I just don't know if I can keep walking.
Jeez.
And going to doctors over and over and not knowing. I mean, you'd go to one specialist and it kind of sounds like this, but I don't really know. Then you go to another specialist and they would think, well, it doesn't quite fit into, this disorder or whatever. That it was just so frustrating.
Tell us, just a snapshot, a day in the life of Julie now. I think you've been getting up super early.
Yeah.
Walking, talking, coffeeing, breakfast, workshops, more walking, nature, dinners. You live a pretty full life.
Yeah, it's, sitting and having conversation with people used to be very difficult. To actively listen, even for 10 minutes, would be very, I love to do that. I love to sit and speak with somebody. And that was really hard for me. That would cause me symptoms for days. And now being able to sit here with everybody and just hear their stories, and it feels effortless.
Taking a million photos. And,
oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
You're around the restaurant, take a photo. What are you doing? Let's do this. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Julie Smith. Can you believe that you're here?
No.
All the way from America?
It's been a long way to come, but a long way to get here.
Yeah, in many ways, not just in the physical sense, but in, your journey of recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome too, So it's just a pleasure for you to be here. Now you're part of the team, which you have been for a while, but to meet in person for the first time, not only as a professional, but also as a past member, to watch your journey from almost 3 years ago when we met to now has just been unbelievable. And I can't wait to share your story. And already there's a couple of very pivotal moments that are coming back to me from your journey that I want to talk about today. But if we can go back in time before we met and before you joined the program, what was going on back then?
2017, I lost my mom. I was, during that time, felt like I was grieving that as best that I could, but I kind of dove into my work. That was kind of a good way for me to kind of distract myself and feel like I was continuing on with things. But I was working, just had I wouldn't necessarily say it's a high stress job, but a high performance job.
Yeah.
And very much had a level of excellence that I was striving for. And then I worked at a church. And so additionally, in my mind, I had this pressure of working for God also. And so I had this, I better be so great here professionally and with what I'm doing, but then this additional pressure of I better do my very, very best that I can for him.
Which sounds exhausting.
It really was. Yeah, that pressure was really hard. So I had the death of my mom and then diving into work and all of that pressure and just wanting to do the best for everybody around me. So what happened was in 2018, I lost hearing in my left ear, and I didn't know what that was about, and went to the doctor and wondered if it was an ear infection and went on steroids. And in about 3 months' time, it didn't resolve, and then I started getting vertigo spells really bad. And in the midst of that, I was having these big sleep episodes where I would sleep, 18 to 20 hours a day.
Wow.
Was trying to balance work. I would just come into work and be not able to walk, and would have, be walking down a hallway and just have to lean up against a wall. Like, I just don't know if I can keep walking.
Jeez.
Part of my job was being, I've trained volunteers and was doing some of the on-stage stuff. And I remember twice I couldn't see. I was having ocular migraines, or I'd have these huge blind spots. And I remember being up and training 150 people and leading this training, and I couldn't see anybody in front of me. Being on stage, leading something from on stage, and not being able to see. I couldn't read my notes. It was really terrifying.
Did you know what was going on at that point?
Mm-mm.
No, it was just kind of this. Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I know your husband's been so supportive of you throughout your entire recovery, but what was it like back then as a couple navigating that unknown of like, why the hell can't I hear anything, and why am I losing my vision and things like that? Was it a navigation period together?
Yeah, I think it was, to be pretty frank, it was terrifying. And going to doctors over and over and not knowing. You'd go to one specialist and it kind of sounds like this, but I don't really know. Then you go to another specialist and they would think, well, it doesn't quite fit into, this disorder or whatever. That it was just so frustrating and just very scary, and was getting worse and getting worse and getting worse, to where I had to go on medical leave. I couldn't work anymore.
Right.
And I realized I also couldn't go back, and that was crushing. And then I got worse from there. So at that time, the best guess was that I had a sleep disorder, because I would go through these episodes of sleep paralysis where I was in bed but could not move my body. I could move my eyes and I could control my breathing. So if Ryan came over to me in bed, I could at least change my breathing to where he would know something's wrong. That was really the only way I could communicate to get help. And then he would pick up my limbs and try to move my legs. We thought, let's just get blood moving, But I could lay there for 45 minutes to an hour and could not move. And the brain fog was debilitating, not being able to think or sometimes speak. But sometimes I would look normal, and then all of a sudden I would just get this change where this mask would come over my face, and the light would remove from my eyes, and I'd lose color. And I in that time, not knowing what it was, I remember telling a coworker, I feel like my body needs nutrition, at the deepest level. And I think it was that fatigue, that heavy, heavy fatigue. I felt like I needed a refresh in my body. I don't know. It was hard to explain.
The job with God's work and then your other job, how long was that going on for after your mother passed away?
So about it was 3 years.
Yeah. So, and it sounds like every living, breathing moment had to be 110%.
Yeah.
With with purpose and energy and effort.
Yeah, because I loved my job. I felt like we were making an impact.
Yeah.
And you hear stories of people who have gone through really challenging illnesses or disabilities who overcome. You don't really know how they do it, but you think, well, I guess that's what I have to do. I can not be able to see, not be able to move, but when I'm up, I better keep going. I better keep making an impact, because that's what I'm here for. I felt very clear on that piece. But when I finally got to the point where I was on medical leave, I realized this is really serious. And I felt this thought of God saying to me, I want to teach you how to care for yourself and let me care for you.
Yeah, I was just thinking you were too busy trying to help everyone else.
Yeah.
And God was like, no, you need to help yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's how you help others. When God says when you help yourself, you'll help others. When did you get diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome? Was it like an exclusion of all other illnesses?
So my sleep doctor was amazing. And she said, I think it's idiopathic hypersomnia. However, you're not responding to medications and different things. So she actually fought for me to get into the Mayo Clinic.
Oh, right.
So I went to the Mayo Clinic, and they really, and the medication piece, not responding to that, but also the sleep paralysis thing, they were able to tell me, sleep paralysis is actually like seconds. It happens within seconds, and you refresh. Yeah. This sounds like fatigue. And that's when I went to their chronic fatigue clinic in Minnesota, and at the same time found CFS Health.
Right.
And so I was kind of placed with hearing from the medical community, and then knowing that there was this program where you had been through it and the coaches had been through it. And so kind of looking at, treatment. And to be honest, Mayo Clinic was very upfront and clear that there's really not much that we can do for you. You're going to come for this visit. But from there, it's going to be symptom management and learning how to live with this. Whereas you guys were saying we can actually teach you how to live again. And so we just thought that's got to be the way forward.
You took a bet on an online program called CFS Health.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. Like we actually help a bunch of people from the Mayo Clinic as well, in conjunction with their doctor. But it's a big choice to make when, I think when we grow up, the culture kind of says when you get sick, you go to your doctor and you trust your doctor. You do whatever your doctor says. What made you have the courage to? And maybe there wasn't courage needed, but like what made you go and choose the CFS Health Recovery Program over something that in traditional eyes is established, is what the doctor would say to do? Like what made you make that decision? Because that would have been a big decision between you and your family as well. Like it wouldn't have just happened overnight, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think the difference with going to doctors is you wait months for an appointment.
Especially there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you're trying to figure it out in between the times of your appointments, and it could be months. I think two things. Number one, I feel like when I heard you speak, I feel like you were speaking a language that you were bringing words to my experience. And it was like, okay, he knows something about me that I don't even know about myself, but it was like a feeling, right? When you would speak, I would say, okay, he's explaining this in a way that I can understand. So I think it was that piece, but also I knew that there would be support in a more consistent way. So once I knew that I was a part of the program, I think I didn't totally know what all of that entailed before I joined, obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
But I knew that there had to be more support than going 6 months between appointments.
Exactly.
And
music to my ears. No, because that's why I started this whole thing. Like, because I went through that journey, over 2 decades ago, but it was that same feeling of like, I get 15 minutes with this doctor and then I have to wait another 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Yeah. What do I do in between? And so, as I got better and when I got better, I was like, okay, I need to make sure I create something very practical and tangible that people they can still use their doctor for support, but they don't need their doctor to help them get better because the doctors just don't have time.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have time and they don't have the training either. What was your biggest challenge before joining the program?
My biggest challenge? Yeah. In what way?
Just like, what were you struggling with the most before you entered the CFS Health Recovery Program? Was it like isolation? Was it, like you said, lack of support? Was it not having a pathway? Was it just being consumed by the unknown? Like for you, what was your biggest challenge?
Hopelessness. I remember before I knew I had chronic fatigue, I tried to work for about 3 months at another job, just trying something different.
Doesn't sound like you.
Yeah. And it was, I had no, you don't know before you have chronic fatigue, and you don't know what's helpful.
Yes.
Nobody knows what's helpful. So I thought, I can just be a receptionist. And there was multiple computer screens in front of me. The phones were ringing off the hook. So there's just multitasking and patients coming in. And I mean, it was crazy. And my body just broke down and broke down and broke down. And anyways, this one day I was at work, I had a migraine. I was throwing up in the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
And the doctor came to me and said, I think you probably should go home, because I was just going to work through.
Wow.
I only had how much time on the clock,
Jeez, so you were real work, like you were just like through and through.
Committed. Yeah, I was committed. And so anyways, called my doctor, and I just said, actually, this is good we're talking about this. What I experienced at that job because of the multitasking was memory loss. I was having short-term memory loss, and I didn't know that I was having memory loss. But my coworkers would say, as an example, you scheduled this person on this day and you said on the phone that their appointment was here, but in the computer you put a different day and a different time, and someone would come in the door, and I would say, what did I do? So called my doctor, and she said, this is the progression of the illness. And I
also
thought,
your brain and body just needed a break.
Yeah.
But it was breaking you to say, have a break.
Yeah. And I remember driving home, holding the steering wheel, and I just screamed like, no, this cannot be my life. There's no hope here. There has to be a way. There has to be. I can't believe that this is going to be my life. And that was about the time I found you.
Wow. How did you find us?
I found you through probably YouTube.
Yeah. And when you watched that first video or the workshop or whatever you came across, what was the feeling?
Yeah, it was there was a difference between, so as an example, at the time, so this was probably 2021, Mayo Clinic has come a very far way. At the time, Mayo Clinic offered a class that was 5 hours long.
Oh, wow.
How to manage. They did a couple days, and it was a really difficult class for somebody with chronic fatigue syndrome to sit online in a class for 5 hours. You could see people just melt on the screen. And in that 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever it was that I watched about baseline, the way that you talked about pushing and crashing was so different. Similar concepts, but bless the nurses and the doctors, they haven't had it. And so the recommendations there were very different than what you were saying, increasing a small amount at a time, and that things build over time. Whereas
it's kind of ironic that what they were teaching was in a 5 hour lecture versus a 5 minute video as well.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of makes total sense now.
Yeah.
Hopelessness is a really dark place to be. Starting out, I think it's one of the hardest. Below that's the giving up stage. For me, the hopelessness is a dark stage because you're not quite sure. Hope's good, but it's still scary because it's an unknown. Did you feel that?
Yes. As we're talking about this, I remember feeling like I was in a trench, like a muddy trench, and I was so terrified I was going to get stuck there. I could feel me slipping into this deep, dark trench, and it was scary, and there was so much emotion and terror that I would just get stuck there. So it was this feeling of this slipping deeper and deeper and deeper into darkness and going I may never come out of this.
I think it's such a long way to fall to, just with the type of person you are. You're clearly a high achiever, very motivated person. So I think the discrepancy between old Julie and current Julie, suffering Julie, was so big that probably that trench was probably a little bit darker and bigger than most, you know. Was there any hesitations, or what was your hesitations joining the program? Did you have any like concerns before you actually entered the program?
Yeah, financial for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like impossible to figure out how. I mean, I had just been put on medical leave, wasn't able to go back. We had to get really creative. And I talked to my dad. Shout out to my dad.
Shout out to Dad. He's a great artist, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
An amazing human being.
Yeah.
And, you know, once I told him that this felt like the best way forward and we looked at things together, I mean, he was just, as families do, they want to help in whatever way.
Not all families.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you had a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just said, like, let's do the 6 months. Let's do it.
Let's find a way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing. Let's talk later about the car.
Yeah.
Because that was another big pivotal moment for you.
Yeah.
So you joined the program. What changed? What changed when you entered the program for you?
I felt like I found my people.
Okay.
2 things, actually. I felt like I found my people.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, these people are
There's other
saying
people.
exactly the same
There's
thing.
other people that are going through this.
Like, this isn't a trivial,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Well, a problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah.
And you're halving that problem with literally over 1,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody would post something in the Facebook group, like, you know, I'm having a difficult time, say, processing how to cut up this food or whatever it is. And I would go, oh my gosh, I want to say that's normal. That's normal for chronic fatigue. Like, oh, that's okay. I understand. But, you know, people posting about just issues that they were having and, you know, how did you handle this? How did you handle that? And then having comment over comment over comment of, yes, this happens to me and this is what I did. All of a sudden you feel like you're part of this big round table where everybody's giving ideas and helping each other and, you know, and lifting each other up and encouragement. But for the first time when I joined, I feel like I put a flag in the ground.
What flag was that?
And that was like, I'm taking control back of my life.
There you go.
Like I want to stick that flag in the ground and say, this is the hope that I'm fighting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of helps seeing other people do it too, like further along the journey. So when you joined, you know, there's members who are 6 to 12 months down the line from you and you're seeing them get back to hiking and working and becoming different people. And that probably gave you that hope initially to like put that flag down the ground and start your journey.
Yeah.
Because everyone's journey is a little bit different, you know, lengthwise, time-wise, effort-wise, but nonetheless, like putting the flag down is the first step, you know. When you went through the program, for you, what kind of comes to mind are the most helpful things? Like, let's say top 3 things that helped you the most. Let's say at the 6-month mark, the 12-month mark, and maybe the 15th month mark. Like, what for you comes to mind straight away when I ask that question?
When you ask that question, I can think of a couple changes in my mind that happened that probably came from pieces in the program. So probably my first one is body wisdom, learning body wisdom.
Baseline body wisdom, yeah.
Yeah. And body wisdom was very foreign to me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Very, very foreign to me. You can't really explain it. You couldn't have it. I mean, the program tries to explain it. Like, that's what we do. But it's not just explaining what body wisdom is, it's experiencing it.
You need to live it.
Yeah. And so that took a long time.
What is body wisdom to you?
Unfold.
Just for people who are at home who are watching this.
It's not funny. What is body wisdom to me? It's really being in tune with what you need in the moment. And
because you weren't for so long.
yeah.
Like, if you think about your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah.
Especially when you were going through all these symptoms and stuff. Like, yeah, I can just imagine you with 2 phones and the screens and
Yeah. And life was
nobody was.
life was getting big, and it was getting bigger and bigger, and I was getting more involved, and the impact was greater, and it was just growing and growing, and I could see I'm a very visionary person. And so I could see possibilities of where it was going. I just thought, this is amazing. This must be what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to do it. And it was the how I'm supposed to do it.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Yeah, totally.
But the first thing, as I started tuning into my body and doing the practices that we do in the program to tune into my body, I had to come up against the thought of what I actually believed about my body.
Tell me more about that.
I felt completely broken. And there was evidence that I was broken because of all the symptoms that I was having. And I was going to doctors to find out, why am I broken? Where am I broken? How do we fix this? But you have to understand, there's a believing. Do I actually believe that I'm broken? And what I think I understood as I tuned into my body more was actually my body has everything that it needs to heal. And I have to trust myself. And then that rippled down into, what do I believe about my sleep? I was told, you have this dysfunction diagnosis, and so sleep is bad. Anytime I slept for a long time, oh my gosh, that's bad. You're broken. You could, that's evidence and evidence and evidence of this brokenness, right?
And your body's just like crying out for it.
Yeah. My body was desperate for it. And so that was probably, we talk about sleep a lot. And that was probably one of the first things in the program that I needed to address.
I didn't know that part, like the nuance of the sleep.
Yeah.
Makes total sense though.
Yeah. I mean, an average day for me was 16 to 20 hours of sleep.
Yeah, you needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, the story, actually now I do remember now. My memory's coming back for that. I remember you doing a post about it. And I think I wrote back to you and I was like, hey, if your body needs that, it needs that.
Yeah.
Don't fight it.
Nobody told me that.
Yeah.
Before you.
Yeah, I said, don't fight it.
Yeah.
Initially, you need to get that to a restore stage, restore the energy back into the body, then we build.
Yeah.
But you were trying to build before the energy was there to restore. So we just had to reverse engineer that, and then you were able to put the building blocks on and start to progress physically and cognitively.
And when I was awake, it was like, oh my gosh, I better get up and I better do this, that, and that,
Make the most of it,
Yeah.
overcompensate. Yeah, which again, nothing, I've never found anything great come from overcompensation. Ever. Like in any area of life. But it's a big one with chronic illness because it doesn't affect lazy people. It's actually so freaking hard because it doesn't affect lazy people.
Yeah.
So, and this is not talked about enough. So imagine someone who's not lazy, who feels lazy all the time. What do you think they want to do?
Oh, the internal fight is
break the shackles and this,
Yeah.
and that's the problem, right? This is why people get so stuck and stay stuck for so long until they learn that innate body wisdom to go at a different approach. So it sounds like it was a real learning journey for you.
Yeah.
For that first maybe 6 to 12 months.
Probably 12 months. Yeah. I don't even think I understood the concept of baseline for a good 12 to 15 months. I couldn't, because I was so determined that getting my life back meant getting my life back. Like I had to get back to my life. That's waiting for me. I need to get there. And so there's so much energy wasted on thinking, like, we got to do this recovery thing. Like, let's go. We need to. I remember telling you at the beginning, I'm all in. I'm all in.
I think I probably said to you, I was like, no. I do, and it's not just you. It's like almost 90% of the people we work with say that line. They're like, I'm 120% committed. I'm like, no. Take the 20% off. Maybe even take off 30 or 40%. But you're definitely one of those people. It was like, I'm 120% in. Let's go now. And I'm like, slow it down, Julie. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, we always say you're not going back to get the old. Let go of that. Build the new. And maybe that happened around the 12 to 15.
And that was scary to me.
Scary.
Yeah. It was like, well, what does that mean? What does the new mean? What if I don't like the new?
And then my question back would be, what if the new's better?
Yes. What if?
Tell me more about that, letting go of the old, because that is a big blocker for a lot of people. And I didn't realize until that moment you said, but what if I don't like the new? How did you let go of the fight to get the old back and let go of that fight and then let the new birth?
I had to do that and reconcile that with God. And that was really hard for me. I think that we as humans spend so much time discovering who we are and what are our gifts and how are we created, and what's my best contribution. And so then you think that it looks a certain way. And then through this process, all of that becomes unraveled. It doesn't change who you are, because there are core pieces about who you are. But the way that it plays out in the world has to change. And it can be so much better. So I really had to have a talk with God about that.
Often? Or was it like one conversation?
No, it was often. I mean, it definitely was often, but I can remember one conversation. I worked with kids in ministry, and that just lit me up like crazy. And I thought that's where I needed to get back to.
Right.
Because there was a depth that was coming in me, and I wanted to bring that to kids. And so that desire got even deeper in me. But God told me I had to let go of that dream of working with kids.
Wow.
And for 3 days, I was like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible and painful. And once I did, it's almost like the lid opened up.
What was the message there?
It's just freedom.
Yeah. To let go.
So there is a verse in the Bible that says, my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. My ways are higher than your ways. And I had to really sit with that and go, I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
I have no clue where this is taking me. I have no idea what the future is going to look like. I just have to trust that God has a higher thought and a higher way than I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And there wasn't fear there.
It's like full surrender.
I just had to trust that He had my best. He knows me the best. And so I had to trust that He was going to help me.
And also, up until that point, it wasn't really working anyway.
My way was not working.
Yeah, exactly. And I always say, do what works, stop doing what doesn't work. It's such a journey. Like, just even as you're talking, it is such a journey, like recovering. I think until you're in it, you don't really know that. Like, I think people just kind of see it as black and white. They're like, it's a start point and an end point. And I think you thought that when you joined, like, you're like, all right, I'm here, I'm all in, let's go. And then there was an unfolding and unraveling, a surrendering, and then a new path forwards. What were two other things that tremendously helped you, inside the program from a training perspective, like, mindset, nutrition? I know movement has been a big part in the later stages for you to like recondition your body, particularly where you live with the snow. Like what comes to mind for you? Two other kind of key aspects.
I would say being part of the Q&A or the live calls that we have, and being able to ask questions live on a call. So probably mindset was one of the bigger things for me. But in the beginning, it was like, I think I was on a mindset call. It was like, well, I'm doing this thing and I'm having a ton of symptoms and I'm crashing or whatever it was. But then the coach would always lead me back to maybe a mindset or thinking about it in a different way. And I didn't realize it was a mindset issue. So I don't know that I could really say like, I went down this part of the program and this was the avenue that helped me. It was it was honestly every single call and every single coach to say, can you think about it this way?
Different perspective, different approach. Yeah. And, you were starting at a very small capacity, if you think about it, like sleeping 16, 18 hours a day. You're a mum.
Yeah.
That's something we haven't even spoken about. That needs to be considered. A wife. Was it a case of just building up little by little becomes a lot as well? Like something, because you've been doing this work for a while, building up, like going from that to traveling. Here you are in Australia.
Yep.
It's a damn long way.
Yeah.
It's almost 24-hour flights. Packing, walking around. You've probably walked thousands of steps every day, to go from that, 18 hours a day in bed to traveling to Australia is a pretty wild discrepancy. What helped you? Obviously I know what helped you, but just for people at home, what helped you build up over time and get there?
I think what the program gave me was a path forward. And so I just had to kind of trust the work and learning how to do, this is one of the reasons why I think baseline was so hard. And I want to talk about this because I think this is a lot of our experiences there would be opportunities of things to do, like getting together with family or whatever. There were things that my heart wanted to be a part of still. And I would say, well, it can't be bad for me if it's something that just brings me so much joy, but you have to learn how to do it differently. So what would happen is I would say, well, yeah, I'm going to go to that birthday party for 4 hours or whatever it was. And then it was just this constant, going forward, coming backwards, going forward, coming backwards. But what was happening in that was I was learning, okay, that didn't work. And the program kind of teaches you, it's all about data collection. So I'll participate in whatever way and different parts along my journey. I'll try to participate in this way and then have feedback from my body and go, okay, what could I have done differently? And that's when Ryan and I would sort of sit down and talk back and forth, how could we have changed the way we got there? How could we have changed what I did when I was there? How could we have changed our communication to say, hey, let's set a timer and in an hour, let's check in or let's protect that time and let's go. So it's finding those little ways. And so changing what I was doing in all kind of areas in my life. And that would be doing things around the house. Instead of maybe, let's use 2 examples. Maybe number 1, laundry. Instead of doing a load of laundry and drying it and folding it and putting it away, I would take the laundry downstairs one day, start it the next day. The next day it would be dried, or Ryan would do part of that. He would do the folding. It's finding a different way. And then progress happened really sneakily for me. And so it might be I would be in the kitchen and I would realize I just unloaded the dishwasher and then put some dishes in there. And that was huge for me.
Yeah.
You just realize, you might go through the day and then all of a sudden you think, oh my gosh, I can make it all the way up the stairs without stopping. Or another big milestone for me was taking a shower without a shower chair. And it just might be I got in the shower and didn't need to sit down. And then you realize, oh, that's progress.
Getting stronger. Getting stronger. Yeah. And it does build up, if you stay consistent at it for long enough, it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. Let's talk about the blog story. So I think you were 15 months into the program. We have an up-level program called Lifestyle Integration, as you know. You enrolled in that, which is basically, once you're starting to get better, we're thinking about life. We're thinking about how can we start living again and how do I want my life to look like and what do I want to do, and building the new. And I remember you coming on a call once and you're like, Toby, I love writing. I just want to start writing again, but I'm petrified. I'm so scared to put my work into the world. I don't know what will happen. What if they don't like it? What if it's bad? What if it's not well received? And and I gave you a challenge. Do you remember the challenge?
I remember you said you need to just do it.
Yeah.
And you said you need to buy a shirt to even remind you, like you just need to do it.
The
Just
Nike
do it.
t-shirt, Yeah.
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 You were just like, I just don't know if I should do it. And I don't know if you remember, but I actually set a date for you. And I was like, I'll give you 2 weeks, but I want to see that posted on your store, on your Facebook or whatever it was that you were going to share it. And do you remember what happened once you hit post?
I almost threw up.
Okay, apart from that part, tell us about the good thing. Yeah, so you were feeling the fear. You were so petrified.
Yeah, feeling the fear.
Yeah.
And I think it was in a week, it had like 1,000 views.
It was crazy.
It
I
was
remember it blew up overnight. Like, it was like, I remember seeing it and I'm like, oh, she's done it. And I think you posted in the group to celebrate, which was just awesome. I was so proud of you. And it was just like, you were so scared of like, no one's going to like it. Like, it's going to be so bad. And literally, like, there was 150 likes on the post and there's so many comments. It was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, you're such a good writer. And it was so perfect. Like, it was perfect for you to have that confirmation. Like, like, I matter. And what I have to share matters, And it was for me, it was a pivotal moment for you. Like a juncture point of like, you were getting better, but it was like stepping into your truth.
Yes.
And then there was a path there that kind of, helped you open up your world, basically.
Yeah, I think something that happened before that point was my creativity turned back on in my brain. And I remember laying in bed.
How was that for you?
Yeah, it was a huge...
the creativity, because like that's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Your brain is not functioning correctly to a certain point, and it's different for everybody, right? But there was a moment in my recovery when I remember laying there and ideas started coming in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then it was slightly overwhelming to have ideas and for them to be so exciting. And then the excitement would cause me to have more symptoms sometimes too. And so lifestyle integration, it's part of lifestyle integration is we talk about getting back to life, but you don't think about a very small aspect. What do I do when I'm excited about thoughts and I want to take action on something? How do I do that?
And prioritize.
How do I do that in a way that I can take little steps towards that? Still take action on it, but in what way do I do that where it doesn't cause me to completely collapse, So that was really, really exciting. And then part of the blog was, I think it was the first time I used my voice in the way that I wanted to use my voice.
Fully.
Yeah.
On your own platform. Tell us about the car story.
So...
Another juncture point.
Yeah, this is another hard story.
Hard story?
Because
it's a cool story.
It is a cool story. It's a great story. So much of this journey has been stripping identity. And the car was my little car. It was a little Nissan Juke. It was a turbo. It was so fun to drive. It was just like my favorite car I've ever had. And financially, we owned that car. And we were coming up against costing, paying for the program and realizing I wasn't able to work still. And we had to, it was an asset that we had that we knew if we sold it, it was going to help keep me in the program because it was working.
So there was a moment where you were like, maybe I'll stop the program. Like, don't want to keep spending money. Like you were getting better, like you were getting better. But for some reason, I think you spoke to your husband, Ryan, first of like, what should we do? Should we leave the program and save money or do we stay?
Yeah. And so I used to do all of the money before I got ill. And once my cognitive capacity was so low, he took over all of that. And so it was a big burden on him. And for him to say to me, why would you stop something that's working? And to have his support to say, we'll do whatever it takes. Let's sell the car. So I remember taking that car in to the dealership and just taking literally, my dad took me and it was like, whatever they'll give us for it. And I remember I walked out and he told the guy, like, she is really ill. She has to sell this car. Like, what, please, what can you give us for it? But I remember clearing the car out and it sitting there and closing the doors. And I almost collapsed. Like my legs went out from under me and I just sobbed. It was another layer of grief of something that brought me such joy. But the beauty of it is I had to let go of that car because that was my old life. And I couldn't see that at the time, but it sitting in my driveway. And I think it was even Ryan that said to me, every morning you wake up and you look out that window, it's the reminder of my life. Ooh. And for it to be gone,
wow,
just cleared. It was like a clearing of the slate all the time.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. It was a very, very hard moment. And I remember the guy saying to me, wow, that was big tears about that. Like, is it your first car? And I just said, no, that's my freedom. I'm letting go of my freedom. And I hated it. And it was probably one of the best decisions.
I was just going to say it actually gave you all the freedom in the world.
Yeah.
Which is just wild. Think about it.
And in the program, we talk about aligned compromises, making decisions that are for the greater vision that you have. And that was an aligned compromise. It's like, we're going to do this now. And so now I think about, I'm still not driving yet, but I think about, what car do I want next? What does that look like? And so letting that just be something that I can dream about.
Amazing. You're doing some great things now. One of the things is you came on as a team member last year as lead mentor. So we have, how many mentors do we have in the program?
22.
So we have 22 mentors in the program. These are people who have gone through the program, are getting better, doing really, really well, and basically are giving back and cheerleading, supporting, encouraging all of our members from 78 countries every single day. And so you came on as the lead mentor to kind of, grow the team and make sure they're doing an incredible job. And you've just been phenomenal. And that's one of the reasons why you're here today in Noosa at the headquarters, because of that role. Tell us what are some things going on in Julie's life these days that, you wouldn't ever have imagined? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I just have to talk, not just the mentors, but if I just talk the mentor group, like they're amazing human beings. Every single person, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this, they're doing amazing things. They have amazing passions. It's just so exciting to think about each person and where they're going to go and what they're going to do. The things that are dear to their hearts and the ways that they want to live in the world is just, it's mind-boggling to me. So that's just very exciting. But also our members, there are so many little posts in the group that I'm just going to share an example really quick. I wish I could remember the member, but her son drew a little picture. He was asked at school what he was most proud of and what he was excited about. And he drew this little picture of him and his mom going camping, riding a bike together, doing these different activities together. And those are the types of things in the program, like you don't realize the ripple effect that it has out to our families. But that piece of hope, the way that it encourages our families, but also encourages each other. And so just hearing these different stories of struggle and of wins, it just makes me so proud to see these people living their lives with such courage.
Proud mom and bear.
Yeah.
You're here in Noosa.
Yeah.
You got your husband behind the scenes. He's just chilling. He's rocking back and forth, proud. I can see his smile. He's a sweet man. And tell us, just a snapshot, a day in the life of Julie now, because, we've been up at, I think you've been getting up super early.
Yeah.
Walking, talking, coffeeing, breakfast, workshops, more walking, nature. dinners. Like you live a pretty full life.
Yeah, it's, sitting and having conversation with people used to be very difficult to actively listen. Even for 10 minutes would be very, I love to do that. I love to sit and speak with somebody. And that was really hard for me. That would cause me symptoms for days. And now being able to sit like here with everybody and just hear their stories and it feels effortless. Being in a restaurant where there's noise and having a conversation with someone.
Taking a million photos. And,
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. It's the multitasking has always been incredibly hard for me.
Yeah.
And sometimes
which is fascinating because you're bloody good at it now.
yeah. The cognitive piece.
Like you're around the restaurant, take a photo. What are you doing? Let's do this.
Yeah, the cognitive piece, I just wanted to touch on this really quick, is the cognitive piece I think a lot of people don't talk about. And it's been incredibly hard, especially later in my recovery. Once the symptoms, like I focused on my health and the symptoms started to dissipate slowly, that progress is sneaky. And then the cognitive piece has been the biggest hurdle for me later in my recovery. So yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Comes in different stages and phases for sure for people. What do you love most about the program and the mentors?
I would say the genuineness. I think on the outside, you wonder if this is for real. And you wonder what it's going to be like when you're in it. And then you get in it and there's like the most amazing human beings in the program. But also every coach, every person that we interact with, there's such a genuine, heartfelt, like wanting to lift each other up. And then being in person has been so different too, because you kind of step into this going like, what is it going to be like? Are we going to
meet all the team?
Yeah. What and what are they actually like? And then it's even more apparent that everybody's heart is in the most amazing place. And then it really is all about the people and the members and the greater community, like the greater CFS community. How can we help more people? That's been, I don't want to say surprising to me. It's been very special to see that there's no agenda, that it truly is, how can we help as many people as we can? Yeah.
That's cool.
And I'm really proud to be a part of that.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
And I think support is another piece that I'm really proud about the program. When I first joined the program, we didn't have a lot of the more one-on-one support that we have now. And I love, and people don't see this behind the scenes, but it's like, how can we catch people every little milestone along the way? So how can we catch people in their first 5 days, in their first week, in their first 30 days? Like we want to help usher people through, and that support is so important. Having one-on-one, a momentum coach that you're assigned to that helps keep you on track and has a different perspective, like how,
connection as well.
Yeah, it's so important. So I'm very proud to be, when people enter the program, it's not like, okay, great, they're part of the program and here we go. It's like, no, let's support them on the back end. Let's support them in the calls. Anyways, it's just, that part is really special to me.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm proud about that.
As a past member, I'd love to hear your thoughts. There's a lot of people who are thinking about joining the program. They're skeptical. they might be in that position where they're like, oh, financially it's a lot of money for me.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. What would would you recommend the program, and what would you say to those people who are thinking about joining?
When I first started looking into the program and I knew that there were other programs out there, this program for me was the most comprehensive. Like, it hit a lot of different aspects of recovery that I didn't even know that I needed. But it was the most like well-rounded program, I felt like. It's got the movement piece, it's got a doctor's perspective, it's got and trainings. We weave brain training techniques into everything that we do. It's the most well-rounded program that I could find. And so that was one thing that I would say to people is, if you want the best opportunity to learn about all the different aspects of recovery and know that in your own time, you're able to, look at the different aspects as you need for whatever you need. That was really helpful to me. And then I would say for the financial piece, to get creative. I know that it's a commitment, but, reaching out to family, just don't think of that as the obstacle. Know that there might be another creative way to pursue, that it might be possible. Yeah.
Love it. Now, wasn't planning on doing this, but we do have a special guest behind the scenes. Ryan, can you come over here? We're going to share. I would love you to stay, Julie.
Maybe, Julie, if you just take one seat across, and then Ryan, if you
Perfect.
that position, and I'll throw you up quickly.
Awesome.
Hi.
You two love birds.
I know. It's pretty fun to be in love still after all this time.
That's amazing.
It is. It is. We know that we are very blessed.
Best friend.
We'll clap Ryan. Man. Oh, welcome, man. I'm so glad you're here. Ryan, obviously, husband to Julie, been through the whole journey. You guys met. How old were you when you met?
19.
Yeah.
18, yeah.
And it's obviously, we've had the team retreat here in Noosa, Australia, so all the team from around the world have flown in, and so you guys flew in as well. And it's just been cool to get to know you over the last couple of days. And we spoke on the first night at dinner, and I could see the love that you have for Julie. And you thanked me for the work that I do to help Julie, which I love, which is great. And then I said, no, well done to you as well. And you said to me, do you remember what you said to me about marriage? You said, well, through, that's our vows, through good and bad, through health and illness. Doesn't matter. I'm there. And so I just thought that was just really cool. Like, his love has never wavered from you, through the good and the bad. And also I think it's like a journey of the spouse too. And it's been an emotional week, obviously watching Julie kind of be here as a team member compared to a client, 3 years ago, a past member who, was in bed and struggling and suffering. Now you guys get to travel to Australia and enjoy your ride and your trip together. What's it been like for you just being here these last 3 days?
Definitely an emotional roller coaster with the news broken yesterday, but also seeing the family of who's here through CFS. I'm kind of on the outside watching in.
Yeah.
And to actually be around the people that I've only heard have touched Julie through the program. It's one thing to, that's so-and-so. Looking, sometimes in passing way as you guys are on Zoom calls, but to be here. And it's from the time we walked in to headquarters to everything I've been part of, no part was, it's as if it's a family reunion, that we've all been here before and we're coming back. It was just a warm feeling. And to actually be able to rub elbows, clap with you every time, with the people that have gotten us here. It's different to hear and to see, and then to hear other people's stories and to touch base with some of the other partners that have been here also.
Yeah.
I just, there's not another, whatever you want to call it, support group that I know of that it's, you go through the program and then it's bye, see ya. You're going through the program. Hey, let's bring you over. And I don't know, to be part of it has just been mind blowing. I'm like, words can't touch it. Words can't say enough on where we're at right now and where we're going to go. It's been just mind blowing, I said, from the day we landed, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. What's been the hardest part as a spouse going through this?
Early on, it's the doubt, the what ifs, the financial part. Going through all the ups and downs, being diagnosed, you have this, and you kind of touched on it earlier, but it's you pay the deductible, whatever, to go to a doctor and you expect to get something, and going through that, you don't get it. And then we go to the Mayo Clinic, and again, for Julie to say, I found this guy online, and I think it's going to work. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, totally. Well, tell me about that.
It was just another financial thing. Here we are on the big picture.
Yeah.
Julie's not working. Our income was cut in half. Fuck, what do I do now? Where am I going to go with finances? I got to save our house. God forbid, she's sick and we're going to be on the streets. That's no good. So I'm like, it's just a what if. So I was kind of like, we don't need to take on this as we're trying to get smart with other things. But at the same time, I could see it in her eyes that this is going to work. Kind of at that point, I think and then I think at that moment, it's kind of like, okay, why wouldn't we? Let's take on everything we can. So
how did you trust that as an outsider, though? Because it's one thing for someone who's going through it to really resonate and relate to it. But I think it's extremely difficult for a partner who isn't going through it, who's very probably pragmatic and logical, going, who is this person on the internet?
Yeah.
Like, how can we trust this person?
Yeah.
Right? Because the internet's a pretty wild, wild west place.
Absolutely.
It's hard to trust who knows what people are doing. So how the hell did you have the smarts to allow her, not allow her because, you're both making, you're equals, obviously, but, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, you're stressing out about finances. You obviously want her to get better. Like, what made you go okay? Because there's a lot of partners don't.
Yeah. Well, it was right there. Is I want her to get better. And so at that point, it's, why not?
Okay.
At that point, if we are on the streets, we'll still be together. And at least at that point, I could say, we are trying to do everything we can to get on the road of recovery. Who am I to say, you believe in that? I don't. I'm going my own route. That's at that point also, we didn't have a route. We just got from the Mayo Clinic. And I think it was that I would take anything at this point to see there's a glimpse, because when Julie's feeling the hopelessness, I'm in that car as well. And that was hard. But anything at that point was small hope, but I could see this was a bigger picture. And I don't know when it was, because again, I'm still on the outside, and at that point, I'm still trying to struggle to figure out what we're doing.
And you're still doing your life too.
And I was kind of like, I'm going to take the stuff, the burden, the finances. I'll do all that stuff. I'll do stuff at the house. You focus on that. If it works, great. And if it doesn't, we'll go find the next person online, or we'll go to Mayo Clinic again. We'll figure it out. And we just, when Julie said, hey, I'm 120%, I said, let's go. I had to trust that Julie was choosing the right thing at that point. And I'm so thankful I did, because we're not here without you and CFS. We're not in freaking Australia without you doing the work, but us supporting each other as well. I mean, that. And there's facets that I've had to change, as far as you were touching on, well, I want to go to the birthday party. And I felt for a long time I was over controlling. No, that's going to break you even more. And then we started let's go and see how you do. And then check in. And then I had to take a back seat because I didn't want to constantly be, well, Ryan's constantly taking Julie home. Gee, he won't let her stay there. And I was wearing that, oh, people are going to think I'm a jerk. And then I think we, as a united front, started saying, we'll give it what we got. And if we got to leave, we got to leave. And then it just kind of worked. I think we kind of got in our rhythm.
Teamwork.
Absolutely.
Did you watch the Loved Ones workshop inside the program?
I did.
Did you find it helpful?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish there were more.
Yeah.
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 The biggest thing I took from that was in marriage, in the vows, it's till death do us part. It doesn't say, hey, you might have to become a caregiver. You know, it's one of those things that I had to learn to be more of a caregiver. And the stop asking how you are.
Yes.
I listened to that, I'm like, holy crap, I might be hindering it. And so now, I was joking earlier today that it changed from how are you to sup. You check in with me. And so for a long time now at work, I like to call it my non-smoke break I take, and we're talking. And it used to be on, you need to tell me how you're doing, to now it's checking in. I get to do a walk and we're talking, and I just know that how she's going to start her day.
Yeah. She knows what to do.
Yeah.
And that was huge, to turn that off. How you doing? How you doing? And
letting go. And it gives you a break.
Absolutely.
As well. You know. Yeah, but I'm so glad. That's brilliant. What's the highlight?
Definitely yesterday. Knowing you get through the program, watching Julie grow, I knew at that point it wasn't a question of if you're going to get better. It was the when. And you punched me in the gut yesterday.
Because why?
You said I'm not sick.
Not sick.
And I'm recovered.
Yeah.
That's the high. The high. You know, I mean, watching her grow through the lead mentor, not even before that, just even the baby steps of
getting your wife back.
Absolutely. But not only that, it's like I touched on earlier, it's name me another support where you go through the recovery. Typically it's, oh, you're covered. See you, bye. Thanks for going through the program, and you're done. And that's not, I don't get that from here. It's, we're here to support you even after. Yeah. Yeah.
As we wrap up, is there any words you'd like to say to spouses who are struggling right now, who are on the outside, feeling isolated, their backs against the wall? Any words to them?
Do the work. And I know it's like, okay, what work? It's turn off the how you doing, and let them do the work also. That there are times, there's going to be spaces where you have to almost turn off the husband, turn off the partner. It's, how can I be there and not be there? I guess it's kind of weird, but you don't want to, you can't overbear. You again, turn off the how you doing, but don't give up.
Yeah.
Do the work. Let them bring you in when needed.
Yes.
and be there as support, even though there's times even now, I mean, there's times I remember just going, I just want to take the reins and what are you doing? No, that's not going to work. And then again, you're falling back into the, how you doing?
It's a process. Trust the
It
process.
is trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust the process, and you can't rely on person A, person B, or person Z. It took me this long to get better. I was better in this time. I was better in this point.
Yeah, no comparing.
There's no comparing.
Yep.
This program also helped me. We don't compare anymore. We prepare. Last year we went to the program, or we went to this family function, and we could only stay in an hour. Okay, that's last year. Don't prepare, or don't compare to the last year. Prepare now for wherever you are at in the recovery. Prepare. Okay. Don't compare. But if you need help, get help. If it's. I still remember the first time when somebody asked me how I was, and I'm going, don't ask me. How's Julie doing? And then it was like, no. How are you doing? And that blew my mind, that I kind of had to break down and say, and check myself at that point. How am I doing? And if you need a break, it's just like parenting, you don't shake the baby, don't rock the boat. If it's going to get rocky, put yourself in timeout.
Yes.
Now, regardless on if they're in a crash or whatever, or if they're just not, if they need more rest or whatever, take a walk, do something, but be there and be prepared to take on some other things. But at the end, it'll come around. It'll come around. Yeah. Yeah.
So good. So proud of you guys.
Yeah. That's what I'm feeling, is pride.
Yeah. Yeah. Just such a beautiful relationship as well. The highs are great, but it's like the whole journey is good. Just think, life's a journey, and you guys are just journeying it together, and it's so nice to watch. Just seeing you guys out for dinners, and just the way you operate, and the love and the care and the equalness, I think, is really powerful. And just the trust, and you'll figure it out, and you'll figure it out. But yeah, it's just wonderful and just beautiful to watch. I think it's a really rare type of love that you guys have got. And I just think keep sharing your story because it's powerful, And I'm excited for your future.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm excited too. Yeah. And I'm okay that I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
You're a big deal. Bring it in, team. Oh, man. So glad you guys came.
It's okay, baby. Let it out.